The 2020 NASCAR Cup Series season is officially over, and across all three series, we have first-time champions. I'm about to basically give my thoughts on the 2020 season next. What is up, everybody? It's me. I hope you guys are having yourselves a really good day today, because you know what? So am I. Happy Monday, by the way, even though Mondays aren't really the best days because it signifies the start of the week. But I'm going to get my week off to a good start by making this episode and also another vlog to follow along with it. But yes, so I'm going to talk about my thoughts on this season altogether. And obviously my predictions that I made on Friday, they really did not go the way that I predicted them to, obviously. But, you know, hey, it's still awesome to see the champions that we have now, because honestly, so Sheldon Creed being the champion caught me by surprise. Austin Cindric, not really, because he was one of the best drivers of the entire season. And as far as Chase Elliott goes, he actually did shock me because, you know, he was one of those sleeper drivers. I mean, as far as just throughout the entire season went, because he only had about 4 wins before getting this one. And you know, he was basically just quiet. He was consistent, and you know, he definitely did a really good job this year. And lo and behold, he's the champion of this year. He replicates the same kind of success that his dad did, and you know, I'm really happy for Chase Elliott. I mean, as far as being a fan of him goes, and also for Austin Cindric and Sheldon Creed, they've definitely done an awesome job this year. I mean, you know, their performance is definitely way up compared to the last couple of years that they've been in the Xfinity and Truck Series. Alright, so now I'm going to give my thoughts on the 2020 season as a whole. This is arguably the most unique NASCAR season possibly ever, because of the fact that the first race, the Daytona 500, ran, I think, about 20 laps, 20, maybe 100 miles in, 40 laps, somewhere around that area. And then got rain, and then the rains came and basically postponed the rest of the Daytona 500 to the next day. And the race on the next day ended, obviously, with Ryan Newman having what had basically a crash that just really scared everybody when he went flying up into the air and got hit in the driver's side door, the window area, by Corey LaJoie. But luckily Newman was able to get out of the hospital within just a couple of days, which is really impressive, honestly. But then the rest of the races ran pretty good. I mean, flawlessly, without any sort of interruption with the weather and such, up until Phoenix, where the pandemic had really started to get to the point where it wasn't safe to keep racing. And then after a 71-day hiatus, NASCAR came back without fans for the first few races up until late June at Talladega, where fans were allowed to come back under a certain percentage of capacity. Most of the races were dominated by, I mean, as far as trucks, dominance was pretty split. I mean, between Creed and also Austin Hill. There's a few drivers that I could think of, but you know, the dominance there was pretty split amongst other drivers. Sheldon Creed included in that list as well. I think I already said Sheldon Creed, but then Xfinity, we all knew who was dominant. It was Chase Briscoe, Austin Cindric. Me and Justin Allgaier grabbed a couple of wins before the season ended. And then the Cup Series, which was the big two, not the big three this year, but the big two, with Denny Hamlin and Kevin Harvick grabbing 16 wins combined. Almost basically winning half of the season, both of them did. And Kyle Busch, this year, only got one win this year. One win. And it took him up until Texas to do it. This season definitely goes to show you that this is the most oddest, most unique, but also pretty action-packed 2020 season to ever come around. But 2021 I really do think is maybe going to be a little bit better. I do hope. Because next year's the last year for the Generation 6, so at this point with that car, they have nothing to lose. If anything, I really would like to see them use a 750 horsepower rules package with the spoiler that they've got for tracks a mile and below, even road courses. I know that at Darlington they're going to use the low downforce package. I really wish that they would go back to that low downforce package, because this package is actually really exciting, and it makes the racing at tracks that are a mile and below really exciting, and they're fun to watch. I mean, we've seen it before with 1.5 and even 2 mile racetracks with the slow downforce packages, that racing can get exciting at those places. So I'm really hoping that NASCAR can do that. And as far as the super speedway package, I'm really hoping that they can find a way to make that package a lot safer, because obviously we've seen a lot of violent wrecks with this package, and this is kind of reminiscent to the COT car, where as safe as it was also at the same time really dangerous because of the wing, because of the wing and how the aerodynamics with the wing worked. You turn a car so aggressively, air can get underneath the car and just lift it up like a feather. I mean, we've seen the same thing last year with Brendan Gaughan, when he went literally did a 360 up in the air at high speed, probably about 200 miles an hour going into turn 3. Luckily landed back on all 4 wheels. But the rules package for the Cup Series on super speedways is just, honestly, to me, it's pretty dangerous. And I think NASCAR really needs to look at that package and just make some changes to it. And it's kind of dangerous, and I really think they should put the plate back on. That's just me. Some people might say differently, and that's their opinion. And my opinion is they should kind of make some changes to the rule package, and also put the plate back on and increase the horsepower. I think the horsepower for even for super speedway cars, for the super speedway package, is 550. I think they should make it 750 with the restrictor plate. That's just me. The bottom line is, at the end of the day, this was the most unique and odd, but also pretty good NASCAR season to ever come around. And I hope we don't have a pause to the season because of any sort of pandemic-related issue. And hopefully we can run the race without interruption. Run the season, I should say, without any sort of interruption. Alrighty, well, that's it for NASCAR Hot Take for this week's edition of NASCAR Hot Take. I will do more of these as time goes on throughout the off season, with silly season news and all that stuff. And yeah, that about does it for me. Thank you guys a lot for watching. If you guys liked the video, go ahead and give it a like. If you have not considered subscribing yet, I recommend you do so in order to keep up with some fine content coming out in the near future. And that about does it for me. I'll see you on the next one.